Hello, welcome to China Mosaic. I'm Pan Deng in Beijing. Xi Jinping, chairman of the Central Military Commission, has ordered a comprehensive reform on the Chinese armed forces, establishing what is being called the toughest military reform in the history of China's military. International media outlets have all noted that this round of Chinese military reform was not something to be overlooked. A Bloomberg report claimed it's going to be China's biggest army overhaul in 6 decades, while Japan's Asahi Shimbun said China may set up what it calls a celestial military. Although there are excessive speculations, China is indeed at a critical stage in its development, transitioning from merely a large country to a powerful state, and so are the country's national defense and armed forces. Following the trend of recent initiatives, China must deepen its military reforms with greater wisdom and courage. As an old Chinese saying goes, readiness for war reassures peace. The reform measures are aimed at raising the PLA's combativeness. First of all, the 7 current regional military commands will be regrouped into new battle zone commands under the CMC. The current military commands have a more administrative role than a combat role, and the regrouping will create combat zones focused on combat and training missions while reassigning their administrative roles to other agencies. Battle zones are not unique to China. Both the United States and Russia have their own battle zones. In the year 2008, Russia regrouped its 6 military districts into 4 joint strategic commands, each responsible for warfare in one strategic direction, acting as the principal responder to possible regional warfare within its command. The United States has the most sophisticated combat zone system in the world. Its combatant command stretches beyond its territory, dividing the whole world into 6 commands, leaving only Antarctica uncovered. Xing Shuo is a research fellow at Collaborative Innovation Center of South China Sea Studies. He commented on this military overhaul, saying, "In its general guiding principle, all factors that are linked with the rise of combat effectiveness will be strengthened, while the remaining will be trimmed away. For those that are weakly linked, they will be reorganized." Shrinking military agencies and non-combatant personnel, halting all paid service by the military, rectifying styles and stepping up anti-corruption are among the measures in this round of military overhaul that will transform the Chinese military into one that is not only massive but also effective. Military reform and national reform are inseparable. As the Chinese economy set about a comprehensive reform, the reform in the military sector is also underway. In the wake of the First World War, France focused on economic growth and reform while overlooking national defense and military reform, which caused a 10-year delay during the country's mobilization reform proposed in 1928. That dealt a severe blow to the French army and partly caused its defeat during the Second World War. In Russia, military reform was only transferred by then-President Boris Yeltsin from the hands of the ministries to the state after the First Chechen War. The rise and fall of superpowers in the past tells us that any country will suffer unbalanced development, with setbacks in military reform and hidden dangers in national security if it places emphasis only on economic development or promotes military reform and economic development separately. As President Xi Jinping has said, deepening the reform of national defense and the armed forces is essential to the goal of building a strong military. It's also vital to the military's future. The reform will make China's national defense and armed forces suitable to the country's status in international affairs and enable them to protect national security and national interests under new circumstances. And that's it for this edition of China Mosaic. I'm Pan Deng in Beijing. Bye-bye.